Macmillan Audio presents Formerly Known as Food: How the Industrial Food System is Changing Our Minds, Bodies, and Culture, by Kristin Lawless. Read for you by Jennywren Walker. To the people who have the right to know. The public must decide whether it wishes to continue on the present road, and it can do so only when in full possession of the facts. In the words of Jean Rostand, the obligation to endure gives us the right to know. Rachel Carson, The Silent Spring, 1962. Introduction. As a nutrition educator working with cardiologists in Manhattan, I've made a lot of house calls and seen a lot of kitchens. Usually, it's not a pretty picture. One visit was to a woman I'll call Jennifer, who was struggling with her health and hoping to improve her diet. Coming into her kitchen, it was obvious what was wrong. Her shelves were full of highly processed food, Pop-Tarts, Frosted Flakes, and Oreos. She already knew she shouldn't be eating those foods, but she was shocked at my reaction when we opened her refrigerator and she showed off the contents: skim milk, fruit juice, a plastic bag of pre-chopped, pre-washed broccoli florets, and egg beaters. These are all misguided ideas of how to eat well, I told her. The only consolation I could offer was that this is what most American kitchens look like. Jennifer needed to entirely rethink what she eats, as do most other Americans. That night, I went to dinner at a friend's house, someone I considered more enlightened about healthy eating, and I was a bit startled to see her kitchen stocked with Kashi cereal, soy milk, low-fat flavored yogurt cups, organic fruit and vegetable squeeze packs, and Annie's macaroni and cheese for her children. While these products are marketed as healthier options than Oreos and Pop-Tarts, the truth is, they aren't much better than what I had seen on Jennifer's shelves that morning. It's striking how quickly Americans have come to accept that it's normal for almost everything we eat to come out of a plastic bag, carton, or cardboard box. Indeed, since the mid-20th century, when the food and agricultural industries took over our food supply and began influencing dietary guidelines and so-called common-sense knowledge about food, we've completely lost touch with what actual food is. Even the whole foods we buy have deteriorated in nutritional quality and are contaminated with environmental chemicals, and our health has suffered in direct relation to these changes. Industry-influenced dietary guidelines have fundamentally altered even the way that many experts approach food and health. While I was giving a nutrition lecture at a prestigious cardiologist practice in New York City a few years ago, I showed a slide defining the dangers of trans fats, those industrial-produced fats in products like "I can't believe it's not butter" or Benecol. I was explaining to the assembled group of patients and health practitioners that although we've long been told to avoid saturated fats like butter and replace them with these supposedly heart-healthy spreads, researchers now know that trans fats actually cause heart disease. I was in mid-sentence when a hand went up, and an older man in the audience almost cried out in exasperation, "But that's the stuff my doctor has been telling me to eat for years!" As it happened, this man's doctor was also in the room. I gently explained that this was relatively new information. This was 2011, and industrial trans fats weren't banned from the food supply until 2015. But based on all the new evidence, people should avoid products with trans fats. The man's doctor was gracious and explained that nutrition was not part of his education or training, and he too was not aware of this cutting-edge nutrition information, which was why his office had brought me in. I have spent more than a decade researching food, health, and nutrition, not only as a nutrition educator, but also as an investigative journalist working strictly on food. Every year, I interview dozens of biologists, chemists, toxicologists, and microbiologists doing groundbreaking
Sample complete. Ready to continue?